This review will contain spoilers, and I'm sure that you're going to want to watch this video all the way through, because you're not going to want to waste your money going to see this flick. For a film that had a $200 million budget, a film that is technically a mainstream franchise, you have to ask yourself, why is this still happening? Why is Michael Bay still behind this franchise? Why is he still directing this? Why is this actually not making as much money as the previous films? Well, that's because the franchise, I believe, is on its last leg. The level of ennui that I had throughout this entire duration of this 2.5-hour film, which honestly could be taken down to probably an hour and a half, has to be one of the most horrendous Transformers films to date. I went into this film knowing it wasn't going to be good. And for a film to make me walk out and actually have my expectations blown away with how bad it was, 10 times worse, that is an achievement that I did not expect. And I'd like to ask Paramount a question. How much did you pay Anthony Hopkins, a magical, talented actor, a composer, someone who, I don't know how he even got into this movie, but everything about him was so disappointing and sad and depressing and sucked the life right out of me, and I'm not kidding.
Look, somebody better start talking or I'm out of here.
Yes, but you want to know, don't you, dude? Why they keep coming here?
I'm not joking. That's a dialogue scene, what you just heard. And it happens more than just once with Anthony Hopkins. Dude, bitch, the script in this film is one of the worst out of the 5 films. Just take the horrible standard that you have had from the previous films and combine it all into one to make it one giant shitfest that surpasses all the previous Transformers films in terms of how bad it is. Which I didn't think was actually possible, but it happened. Everything from the chemistry, from the acting, from the script writing, from the scene transitions to the characters, everything in this movie is so forced that it will leave you groaning in agony and physical pain rather than a simple, fun, entertaining ride. You see, I understand the previous films are bad, right? They're not amazing, but I found Transformers 1, I found Transformers 4 to be entertaining. Like, yeah, I spent the money to see not a great film, but I had fun watching it. It was entertaining for me to watch. This wasn't even entertaining. This was a groan fest for me. I almost, at one point, walked out. There's a particular scene with Anthony Hopkins near the last 20 minutes of the film where he runs out into a field where a bunch of Decepticons are, where nobody else is, pulls out a cane and literally shoots Megatron in the head with like a .22 fucking cane pistol or something. Megatron just turns around, shoots him in the open field, and Anthony Hopkins goes flying across the screen in slow-mo, I'm not being hyperbolic, in slow-mo, and lands and then like rolls down the hill, and I was crying from laughter. It was the most random, weirdest scene of the whole film that didn't make any logical sense why it even happened, and then he just dies. He's rolling down the hill, slow-mo, flying through the air, lands on the ground, and just like, and he dies, and he dies. He fucking dies! So much for Anthony Hopkins' bravado. It just showed how stupid he was. The whole film has scene like, I feel like the editor, whoever edited this, has like ADHD where he just mashes a bunch of clips together, right? And just throws it into random, he mixes all the clips and then just runs with it. Because every time I would start to get not bored, at something that was happening, right? The scene would either change to a whole different geography or completely different characters or throughout the entire 2.5-hour film, constantly and consistently. Like, I couldn't focus on anything because it kept switching scenes and making edits where they didn't make sense. Like, I don't think in this entire film there was a scene for more than at least 60 seconds that didn't cut at some dramatic edit, right? It was like watching a YouTube video, right? You know, those people who make edits every goddamn 5 seconds of over here, 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 here. That's what it felt like. I felt like I was watching a 2.5-hour mainstream $200 million budget edited YouTube video. Paramount Pictures could have hired me, and I could have edited, and I'm not even saying I'm a good editor, but I could have edited this film better than whoever put these scenes in transition. And it makes me wonder, the people at Paramount who approved this, who watched this all the way through, what were you thinking? There are scenes that don't need to even be in here. There are characters that don't even need to be in here. The first 15 minutes, we get this random Spanish girl who somehow just wants to be running around with Mark Wahlberg, and she gets a hissy fit because he won't let her, her character is completely, utterly fucking pointless. No, we don't need some stupid-ass fucking Spanish 14-year-old going around saying, brah, bro, what's up, bro? Hey, you know what about that, bro? And then Mark Wahlberg adopts her lingo and starts calling her bro. You're part of the family now, bro. I kid you not! That's in the fucking movie! Yes, the CGI of this movie was great. But that means nothing if the film is so bad you can't appreciate even that much. What's even worse is that if you go to YouTube right now, type in Transformers The Last Night and watch the two main trailers, right? Everything you see in those trailers is in the movie, and that's about it. There was hardly any action in a 2.5-hour film. There was hardly any action in the whole thing. There was really only two main fights. And the final fight, where Optimus Prime is even doing anything, is shown in the goddamn trailer. This scene literally lasts for like 25 to 30 seconds, and then Optimus Prime just cuts all their heads off in the trailer, and that's like right near the end of the movie. Optimus Prime is so dumb at this point. We get this stupid victory speech at the end of every Transformers movie that we really don't care about. Optimus Prime hardly is even in the movie to begin with. The chemistry between Mark Wahlberg, this stupid little 14-year-old Spanish girl who's a little stupid-ass little cunt who doesn't even need to be in the movie, that serves no purpose, who just cries all the time and is like, I want to be part of a family. I just want to be, Transformers are my family. And in the first 5 minutes of the film, there's this forced, like, intimacy relationship between the 14-year-old girl and this, like, robot, where the robot dies and gets killed, and she's like, don't leave me! Don't leave me! I love you! You can do it! Hold on! You can do it! Hold on! You're the all I have! Please! And I'm not. I know that's cringy. And that's cringy for a reason, because that's what it was like. This forced, you know, this forced emotion that the film is trying to build, but there's no chemistry between anything in the whole film at all, between any character. And of course, the film focuses more on the goddamn humans, which is the biggest problem with any the Transformers franchise, is that it focuses on the stupid goddamn motherfucking humans that we don't really care about, rather than the Autobots, rather than the Decepticons. It's not about robots anymore, it's about the stupid humans where everything is forced, and we're left feeling empty, and we don't give a shit about anybody. That's the problem with the Transformers franchise. And it breaks my heart that a franchise, that comics, because I've read Transformers comics, and I like Transformers, I like the cartoons, I like the original Transformers in general. A franchise that has been ruined and scalped for every goddamn marketing ploy and penny and toy to keep pushing out these horrendous films that honestly need a different director. They need a different director. If there's one series that I think needs to be rebooted, it's Transformers. They need someone who actually can fucking take from the comics and build a diverse science fiction world where the Transformers are in our world, on Earth. Reboot the franchise with someone who's actually capable of making a Transformers film. This isn't always about some hot, sexy babe where characters are forced into a plot that serve no purpose other than to get forced laughs out of the audience, and where every scene that you watch is just a simple, oh my god, groan, ugh. And I'm not, guys, I am not exaggerating. This is the worst of the franchise. Between the horrible editing, the scene transitions, the forced chemistry, the forced laughter, the only thing that I liked in this entire film was the slight backstory behind The Last Night, behind the history of the Transformers, because we got a little bit of that. And I loved being able to see Bumblebee, that he was actually active in World War II. That was really cool. That Transformers have actually been all throughout history fighting and helping us. That was a cool scene. It's a cool part of the movie. But even that, it can't save this disaster of a film, and I do not recommend you see this. I recommend you torrent the fuck out of this movie. And if you want to see Anthony Hopkins die like a pussy-ass little bitch and say lines which you would never think Anthony Hopkins would ever say or agree to say in a movie, then this is the movie for you. Go waste your money and see a film that will make you want to put a gun to your fucking skull and pull the trigger. Transformers: The Last Knight is that film. Thank you for watching this review. I'm not exaggerating. This is horrendous. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. Repzion. All my social media links are linked down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and have a fantastic, hot Saturday.